Welcome to Phillies Postgame Live, presented by Cure Auto Insurance. Ricky Vitalico, I'm Michael Barkan, 7-5 Miami. I can't believe that score. The Phillies led 4-1 entering the seventh. Should the Phillies, we never count these games in April. Like, it's a wait till September. If the Phillies should, heaven forbid, fail to win the playoffs, fail to make the playoffs, fail to win the division, or they fail to get home field. Look at this game right here. 4-1 into the seventh. They didn't do what they needed to do. The errors committed, the blunders committed. They wasted a great performance.
I feel like they almost got
Jesús
sucked
Luzardo.
into a bad team. 'Cause this Marlins team, I think, is horrible. You saw their defense with the Cal Stevenson hit. They gave it a hit, of course.
Yeah, of course.
But I mean, it's, you look at Stott, usually very sure-handed, couldn't come up with a big play. And Orion Kerkering, who has been really good since he's come up from the minor leagues. The bullpen is a problem. I know it's early in the season, but I think the bullpen is turning into a little bit of a problem. You were in a good situation last year with Hoffman, who was throwing the ball well during the year, and Strom were throwing the ball well during the year. Now all of a sudden, you got way too many holes in that bullpen right now, and it's not one guy. I mean, Ross has been struggling. You look at what Kerkering did today. Strom wasn't good, but I think that's one guy you could live with a bad outing, and then he'll come back for more. But this is a game that they just gave away.
Yeah.
And it was funny.
Ricky.
We did the seventh inning hit, and my first thought was, they've been letting this team off the hook too much.
Yeah.
The one thing the Phillies have done well in this series, they've gotten off to good starts. You know what? Step on somebody's head and don't let them up.
Right. Even yesterday, they were up 9-1.
Yep.
They win at 11-10, and a
11-10.
win is a win. And it would have been so today, but they failed to get it done. Here's the other question that needs asking, which is 88 pitches by Jesús Luzardo.
Yeah.
He might not have been himself, but he still pitched darn good. He pitched well enough to win the game. Would you have pulled him for Kerkering at that point?
I probably would have.
You would have.
I think it was time. I mean, what are the odds Kerkering goes in and gives up a 3-spot? It hasn't happened this year. So what are you doing? I mean, you have 2 innings to finish the game out, and you can't get it done with the bullpen. That's a problem.
Yeah.
It's a problem.
Let's go across the street and check in with Cole Hamels for the crossover, presented by Chapman Auto Stores. Cole, welcome to the booth. I wish there was a different outcome for you today, my friend, but unfortunately not to be. What were your overall impressions in this game as the Phillies took an early lead, got a crooked number, and then failed to get more runs?
They did. You come off hot right off the bat. You want to be able to continue putting up crooked numbers throughout the game. You can't ever let a pitcher, especially a starter, get off the hook. Luzardo did a phenomenal job. I mean, really have to look at what he's done. The last starters for the last couple days have really done their job. It's just unfortunate that, with not getting a big enough lead, you keep a team in it. And, with the Marlins, they're a very free-swinging team, so you just can't, you don't know what to expect at times. So, if you hang a few pitches, which did eventually happen, they did damage.
Yeah, I want to get your thoughts on what you saw from Orion Kerkering today. Didn't seem to have his best stuff, and it showed in his box score.
Well, he had a great fastball, and that's what I was really looking at. Is I think he just needed to keep sticking with that four-seam fastball. When you're throwing 98 to 99, and he has a really good two-seam, and I think just the way that it lined up, he left one pitch, probably didn't have to throw that pitch at that time, and it penalized him and obviously changed the whole outcome of the game.
You were a pitcher who wanted the ball. You wanted to stay in the game. No doubt Jesús Luzardo felt the same way today. 88 pitches, and unfortunately for him, he does not come away with the win. Would you have left him in and had him throw, 20 more pitches maybe? Or did Topper do the right thing?
It's something where I know it's still early in the season. 88 pitches is always a great number. You want to know if you can push up to 90 to 100, but I know in the middle of the season to the end of the season, he's definitely going to have that opportunity to pitch the whole game. So it is. You want to take the good and the bad. He didn't walk anybody, and that's really says something for he's challenging the hitters. He's staying ahead, and he's getting outs, and he was getting the big strikeouts when he needed to. This was a good lesson, I think, for him, and it's going to push him, and I think Rob's going to definitely give him the opportunity next time when he's in that situation to continue to go out there and see if he can finish the game out.
Are you a little surprised in the Phillies in a sense that they're getting a lot of base hits, they're hitting gap to gap, but this is a team that's kind of built on the home runs, and they've kind of been a little shallow on those right now?
Yeah, they haven't had him. Unfortunately, I know Harper probably missed a few and wanted him back the past couple games. They're close. I know that's something where when the temperature changes, the weather changes. I mean, it was a real windy day. Pitches kind of seem to do what they do. But they're still coming. There's a long season. I know they've got a lot. They're going to put up the numbers.
Lastly, Cal Stevenson pinch hit for Johan Rojas in the 8th inning. Rojas was 6 for 12, 4 runs batted in, 4 runs scored in these 3 games against the Marlins. Do you make that move at that point when you have a guy coming in who's been in the minor leagues and hasn't seen big league pitching in a while?
I think I do. Just the matchup alone, this pitcher was going to pitch something that was going to come into a lefty away to a righty. And I think the matchup just favored Stevens a little bit more than Rojas. Rojas has been putting the ball in play and getting some really big hits. But I just think the matchup, you had to take it.
Cole Hamels, it's been a pleasure. What do you think? Will you do one more?
I'll do a few more.
Okay. I was going to say, and one more after that. We'll take them one by one. Great job, buddy. Great job, Cole.
Welcome to the dark side.
We'll talk to you next time. Welcome to the dark side. That's right. All right, bud. Thanks so much.
Thank you.
Cole Hamels in the booth today, and he'll be joining us throughout the season.
This whole series, I feel like the Phillies got lulled to sleep by these guys. I do. These guys are out there kicking the ball all over the place. Their pitchers, starting pitchers, are not very good in this series for the Marlins. And it seemed as though like you had them in each and every game and kept sliding away. And then finally today, they dropped the ball.
Yeah, I don't think we know the depths of the Miami Marlins. They really, the terrible
Let's
team.
face it, the Marlins tried, they tried to give you the game. Those 2 balls hit the second base. One should have been a double play. The next one hit to him. He's booting all over the place. I mean, hot potato.
Has a chance to get that ball.
Most guys would start like walking into it and turn to his right and take that one step, backhand it. Then you have an even line throw to second base. In his case, he kind of tried to. I don't know what you would call this when you're doing it.
Right.
It's forehanded on the wrong side, but there's no way you're getting that ball if you're doing that.
Yeah. Let's hear what the manager has to say after this tough loss. Here's Rob Thomson postgame.
What did you see from Kerkering in the 8th inning?
A couple of sliders he left up in the zone, one to Norby and one to Sanoha. And that was it.
You really had to lean on some of your higher leverage guys in the first month of the season. Does that worry you at all, given something down there?
Well, again, it's just part of the season, and I think that'll even itself out over time. But we played so many close games there for a long period of time that, yeah, we did lean on them. But they're a pretty resilient group, and I think we've taken care of them, too, at the same time.
How much do you need a 4th guy outside of Strong, Kerkering, and Alvarado to kind of step forward and be able to take down some of those higher leverage innings?
Well, it's important, but I think we've got the pieces there to get it done.
No, it's only one game and small sample size, but how frustrating is it to have another good start by Luzardo and be on the verge of a sweep there before heading to New York?
Yeah, it's frustrating, but, it's the first time we've lost a game while we're leading after 7, so it's going to happen every once in a while, but you just got to shake yourself off and go get them tomorrow.
Did you see some sloppiness in the field?
Yeah, we didn't help Zeus, but, again, that's going to happen. I think Harper just kind of lost the ball, whether it's the background or what, and Stotty just came up on a ground ball. But, Zeus did a nice job battling through that, too.
That 7th inning is cleaner. Does Jesus go back out for you?
Probably. There's still the health issue for the player. I want to keep him healthy, and he ended up with 88 pitches, 21 in that inning. That was the most he had thrown in any inning, and he had to grind through it. It looked like he emptied the tank for me.
What happened on the mound where he didn't throw the pitch?
He just stubbed his toe. He just landed in the wrong spot, but it scared me. I can tell you that.
He seemed to be laughing.
He was fine.
You have a tough road trip coming up. The Mets are obviously, there'll be a lot of attention on that series, especially with the rivalry and the way things played out in the playoffs. How important is it to turn the page and focus on that series?
Extremely important. This one's gone. It's in the past. We can't control what we did today. We just got to move forward and control what we can control.
Can you walk us through the thought process of going with the pinch hit with Cal Stevenson?
Bender's tough on righties. I just like the matchup better than Rojas.
To the outside part of the plate, he was doing a nice job with that today. Just kind of flip it out there for a strike. It's just a change of pace that you really can't and won't go after if you're a hitter, but it wasn't him. It wasn't Jesús Luzardo today. He did his job. He should have gotten a win in this game. You know, you could look up and down the lineup. Bryce Harper, the defense, poor. You look at Bryson Stott, defense, poor. Kerkering, hanging too many breaking pitches. Then you go down, Rojas. Everybody said, what? What did Rojas do? How about caught stealing with 2 outs in the 4th?
And Bryce
at third
Harper
base.
Coming up. And Kyle Schwarber potentially coming up.
I just
You're
don't get it.
You're going to steal third. Make it when you steal third.
I don't get it.
Let's go to the locker room, to the clubhouse, and we'll check in right now with Jesús Luzardo.
What was it like facing your team? I know there's a lot of guys that changed over there. What was that like?
Just figured. Yeah, I knew some guys over there, but just went towards it, like another game. Didn't want to put too much mind to it, just another start.
You were pretty frustrated after your last outing. How did you feel about this outing?
I felt like this one was better in terms of just like getting in the zone, staying away from the walks, and trying to get early contact, which is what I think every starter wants to do. So I think we were able to achieve that today.
What happened on the pitch that you ended up not throwing?
My cleat just got stuck in the ground and kind of tripped up, so I held on to the ball.
Were you surprised not to go back out for the 8th inning, or did you feel like Rob said it seemed like you emptied the tank after the 7th inning?
Yeah, I mean, kind of when I walked off, Topper let me know, and it's always his call. So, I felt good today, thankfully, and look forward to feeling good next start.
Obviously, there's going to be days where they bail you out and vice versa, but just right now, leaving the game, how comfortable do you feel with your bullpen close game?
I feel like we all, as a team, feel extremely comfortable. We have a lot of confidence in them, and mishaps happen. It is what it is. It happens to everyone, but I think we, again, as a team, have the most confidence in our bullpen.
You seem to be pretty fired up when Marshawn had the throw out at second base. Just how is that reputation going for you so far?
I mean, it's been great, and obviously, having him back there, I think we have a great understanding of each other and relationship with each other, which, goes a long way with him calling the game. And, it just gets me fired up when, the team buys outs any way that we can. I'll take them. So, it was good to see today.